Okay. All right. That was weird. That was really weird. Really, really weird. But we are back. I have no idea. That's just YouTube sometime. Maybe I got too many people at once. I don't know. However, we are back in a place to be. Give people a little few seconds to chime back into the room. That is super weird, but it is what it is. I need to develop my own, I need to find some place to stream live. Maybe YouTube should be able to handle it. I don't know. We upgraded some things on the internet side of things. All right. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get back to where we were. We're back. Sorry about that. Somebody asked a question too, and I didn't get a chance to answer that question. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to get started where we were. Stuff happens. Okay, so let's get right back into it. Somebody asked a question with a super chat, and I wish there was a way I can go back and pull it up. Let me see if I can go back and pull it up on the YouTube side of things, because I wish there was a way I could see the question, because somebody straight up asked a question, and I want to make sure I can answer it. I think it was somebody asked a question. I think it was Photo Matrix. Something about companies expecting teasers. I hate I missed that question, because I know somebody spent their hard-earned money on it, and it you know, I hate I asked. If you have the question, re-ask it so I can make sure I get to it. I don't want to leave you hanging, especially when you send the super chat. If you had that question, go ahead and you ain't got to send the super chat again. Put some stars by it or something so I can make sure I see it real quick. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up inside the chat window. Let me see if I can pull it up there. And if so, I'll go ahead and I'll answer it while we give people a few seconds to chime in. There is a way to view the chat. Give people a little time to get on in the room real quick. Nope, it won't let me see the live chat. That sucks. Okay, it is what it is. All right. I know, yeah, it was Matrix Photo. He asked the question. He said, clients always think that the jobs are easy. How do you explain the complexity? I'm glad you asked that question. That's a great question. Hold up. Okay. You want to explain the complexity of the question in the part of your proposal that talks about the process, right? When they see the process and they see it's going to be a lot in this process, they have a better understanding of how complex this photo shoot is going to be. Sometimes I'll even go as far as writing lighting scenarios, or lighting schemes, just so they can have an idea of the thought that's put inside this particular project. Because a lot of clients think you can just show up, point something at them, and hit a button. You're going to put your hands behind your head. You're going to go home. You're going to take the SD card out of your camera, put it in your computer, and magically the edited version is going to be there waiting to be handed off. Because a lot of times, if they've ever touched any type of video editing software, to them it's just putting clips together and then exporting it. So they don't understand what goes into color grading. They don't understand what goes into like cutting, just general editing. When you're dealing with talking heads, just general editing becomes difficult. You got to cut it at the right time. They don't know about graphics and lower thirds. So you have to make sure that they understand the complexity during this is the process. This is what's going to happen with you because you have purchased this service. This is what we're going to do. And I break it down from pre-production to production to post-production. And you want to make sure you do that. Even after post-production, editing, we're going to archive it for this long and make sure they see all of that within their proposal. So you want to, and it makes it, when you do that, when the follow-up is that thorough, they feel comfortable and confident with spending $10,000 on your video. When they just say we shooting the video, they're not going to spend a lot. So it's something to keep in mind as you do that. I have a member LLC added my pops for no particular reason. Do I have to pay him anything, or can I take all the profit for myself by paying myself through the LLC? Okay, his share could be the value of the company. His share can be stocks. You don't have to pay him anything. Tax-wise is better, but you don't have to. But there's some things depending on where you are that may benefit either way. So you kind of want to talk to whoever's preparing your taxes about that, because they can give you some tips that I don't legally want to give you on live on YouTube right now. Notice I'm drinking my Kermit the Frog tea real quick with my finger. Okay, to another question that won't get me in a lot of trouble. What percentage of royalties do you think is reasonable for product photography? That's difficult because it depends on what you're charging. If you are working with a company that they don't have a lot of money, look, there are let me explain this to you. There are video production and photography companies that don't accept any money or very little money up front, and they want a percentage of the company. They want stock options. So they're saying, hey, Kickstarter, hey, company, you want to get on Kickstarter? We'll shoot you a $30,000 video and we'll take 10% of the company. There is a guy and a few companies, especially if you're in the LA area, that make a living doing this. One of the companies they invested in was Square. And it's funny, I got to find the commercial, because the guy who company it is, he's starring the commercial, and he's done that with a lot of companies. And now he's worth millions because he sat back and helped them companies grow by being their multimedia department, and he took a percentage of that company. Now, if you see a company that you think is going to blow up, it's a product or service that you think there's no way this is not going to blow up. Sometimes you may not want to talk money. Sometimes you may want to talk a percentage of the company or royalties. Hey man, look, screw this. Let me shoot all of your videos, and you just bring us in as the multimedia department and give us 8%, 5%, 10% of the company, and sit back and let that company be worth billions someday, and you walk away with your $200 million. Or have somebody come buy them and you walk away with your $200 million or $300 million. So, it's something to think about. He said you should listen to Madden's story about how Pat Summerall did the voice for all the Madden games for nothing but a percentage of EA. Madden sold the shares for chump change. I need to look that up. That'll be a good idea. If it take months or years to make a movie, then clients should understand that it's not going to just take a day to come up with a video clip. Some clients just don't know. Some clients just, they don't know. I wish I can tell you that. I wish that's the case, but unfortunately, people want what they want. Now, you know what I mean? People call me up like, yo, I need a video to launch this Saturday. I'm like, what? Can y'all do it? Yeah, we can do it. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm going to tax the living daylight out of you, because now I got to stop everything I'm doing to get your project off the ground because you didn't prepare for it. People call me on like Tuesday, like before Black Friday, and want to launch a Black Friday campaign. Doesn't work like that. Does not work like that. So going back to the original topic, number one is, like I said, understand that when you get into this business, the goal is to offer a solution. Be a doctor, don't be a drug dealer. Drug dealers got one drug. This one drug fits and soothes everything. Doctors look at what you come in complaining about, they find a solution. And just like I said in the video, somebody may come in with back pain and it may have nothing to do with their back. After looking at them and evaluating them, it may be a bad insole, maybe bad shoes to help with their back. But you have to look at their situation and you have to evaluate what they're doing and provide a solution. If you go to your doctor with back pain and he give you some different insoles and you're looking at him like, what? But the insoles work, you will go back to that doctor like crazy because you will figure he know your body. Just like they will figure you know their brand. You know what's best for their brand. So make sure that you are the doctor and not the drug dealer. A lot of y'all just want to buy a camera and just sling it. And man, we filming. One size fit all. I don't even care what you're trying to do. Because I'll have clients come at me and say, I need this. And I'll listen to their problem and be like, you don't really need that. This is what you need. And it'll work for them. Now, sometimes you get pushback. You get some people that are just stubborn. They don't care. Hey, you know what I do? I let them pay me to do it their way. And if it fails, they come back to me and I let them pay me again to do it my way. And that's how it works. So something you need to think about. Michael, my man, hey, big shout out to you, brother. I want to appreciate you for supporting me and supporting the channel the way you do. You are on just about every live and you highlight the screen. And I want to let you know that you are much appreciated. And you ask some of the best questions. That is important as well. Are cold calling still a viable marketing research for a niche? I want to call on personal injury lawyers in my area and research media solutions. Okay, cold calling. I'm going to tell you where cold calling sucks and cold calling works. Cold calling sucks when you have a script and you're trying to work anything on everybody, right? Cold calling works when you, just like you said, when you have a niche market and you contact them with something that's built for them. Telemarketers call everybody. That's why we hate them. They don't sound personable. Hi, welcome. Thank you for, they don't hit you with something that affects you. Let's say you had a Cadillac Escalade, right? You just happen to own it. And somebody called you up and say, hey, you know, we got brand new tires for the Cadillac Escalade that's on sale, just like your stock tire. And you're like, wait a minute, I got a Cadillac Escalade. Let me listen to what this guy got to say. It's more of a personable phone call. It's more like you feel more connected to that person instantly. Now, part of you like, how do you know I got a Cadillac Escalade? However, when you have, that's why I tell, when you have that niche market, that niche, wherever you're from in the country, niche, however you pronounce it, you know what I'm saying? Don't beat me up. When you have that niche market and you know who your client is, it's so much easier to approach them on every level. So cold calling is still in for me. When you have something that's built for the caller on the other end, they instantly get value. Like, dang, I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you hit me up. I'm glad you, man. So out of all the videographers in my area, you specialize in what I do. I'm glad you found me. That's what I often get when I call people within my niche. So cold calling, definitely do it. Definitely do it. I would also do mailers and I would also do flyers. I would also go into the office on days you got no work and you don't got nothing. I'd go find the offices and I would drive to all of them. Z23 Studios. Great looking out. Real quick, Skyline. Yeah. Direct mailers definitely work. Again, because you have a niche, you're not sending out 28 million of them to everybody in the zip code. You're only hitting the 50 dental offices or whatever your niche is in your area, and you can invest more into what you send, like a gift basket or a $5 gift card or something like that, something tailored to them. If they are dentists, you can send them something shaped like a tooth that maybe they can sit on the display, a pen rack, something. You can create swag to approach your target audience. Those are things that help you push your marketing even more. Z23 Studios. Hey, Ty, love the videos and advice. Really interested in your contract pack. Are you willing to divide a la carte? So the contract pack can be divided. It is an a la carte thing. You can buy the contracts you need. You don't have to buy all of them. If you go to the website, you can pick and choose which contracts you want. Yes, sir, Z23. Ty, I don't have a niche yet. Just starting. Thought about doing book trailers because no one here is doing it. Thoughts? You know what? I had 3 people ask me for a book trailer, and that's not a bad idea. The only thing is this. The only caveat to that is the same thing. They're running into the same problem that musicians are, right? 20 years ago, musicians were signed to labels. Labels have video budgets to go with their album sales, and it was big money, right? Today, musicians are going straight to iTunes, straight to YouTube. There is no record label. So whatever they want to spend out of their pocket for their music video is all they got. So that means we went from spending $1 million for a music video and probably more if you were Michael Jackson or Mariah Carey. Even the no-name guys had a $500,000 music video to a $5,000 music video if you're lucky. So if you know, that's hard to do. With the books, it's the same thing. They used to have big book deals back in the day. They used to get published back in the day. Now I can go straight to Amazon with my book. I can go get a hard copy, print it, and go straight to wherever, or especially digital copy. There is no middleman. So I'm asking the publisher of the book themselves, the author, not the publisher, the author, to come out of pocket for the trailer. They don't always have a lot of money. So you got to look at what your target price is going to be. $1,000 a video. You know, if you're doing something like a romance comedy or something that is fantasy, You can't sell that book by having somebody talk about it. You kind of want to shoot a scene in the book like a movie, and those can be expensive for that $1,000. That's what I ran into going in that area, because it's something I thought about doing. I had a client that had a book that took about a story that took place in World War II, and I'm like, bro, you got $1,000. I can't even rent the uniforms and go in the woods with $1,000 to get people to reenact the scene out of this book. That seems like a really good book. So it's difficult. Not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying it's a difficult path. Fun Film, good looking out. You're not really late. Good looking out on the super chat. You're not really late, because I had a blunder of an internet connection, but you're not really late. Just FYI, but I do appreciate the late text. Oh man, I'm gonna get caught up. Okay. Found a couple niches, but I had to change my name to VHS Media Group for corporate training videos and Two Guns Boxing for films. I missed a creative reflection question. What was the creative reflection question? Let me go back, because I had a bunch. Real quick. Somebody said it was a good question. I don't see it. Repost it so I can answer it. Two Guns say he did the book trailer niche. They don't want to pay more than a couple $100 for a video. It's just difficult. It's like it's the same thing that's happening to music videos. John, good looking out on the super chat. Back to cold calling. What about contacting through Facebook or their published email addresses? Is that effective at all? Okay, a lot of people ride on email marketing and saying that it's dead. It is not. You have to think about who your ideal client is, right? If your ideal client is a dentist, let's say, right? Because this answer depends on who your ideal client is based off your niche, right? If your ideal client is a dentist, which means he's probably over 28, 35, he works in a corporate setting that live and die off email, he's probably going to get your email. If your client audience is younger, skateboarder, or I'm just using somebody young or whatever, has a younger profession, your best bet may be text messaging. I am looking into ways to take Flash Film Academy from emailing people and saying, hey, we're going live, to texting people and saying, hey, we're going live. Because people are just, the way people look at text messaging is just more, it happens more, it's more frequent than emails. Not saying email is dead, but for my target audience, I think text messaging along with email will work, because the age range of my viewer falls in between the sweet spot of both. Now, if you're dealing with somebody older, let's say you're dealing with somebody that's dealing with golf or something. I'm going to say golf, something where you get a little bit of an older audience, it'll be more email than text message. But don't forget about how valuable text message is. A lot of people skip that. So email is great. Cold calling is great, but text messaging too. If you're working with somebody who's in an office, their niche is in an office all day, a cold call between 9 to 5 may be very valuable for your business. Let me see. Creative reflections. Okay. What should you do if you don't have a niche and you want to make it in photography and videography? I currently shoot everything that moves. Creative reflections. You have to find a niche, right? You're going to waste a lot of time and money if you don't know what it is you want to shoot. You're making the situation harder on yourself by not putting the train in front of the caboose, right? It's the equivalent of saying, I want to score a touchdown. I just don't know what play to run. You got to know what play you're going to run, right? I play a lot of flag football. That's just my thing. I'll probably be the oldest guy out there one day, right? I like playing with quarterbacks that have plays compared to quarterbacks that say just get open, right? Because quarterbacks that have plays can win in different ways. They can win with timing routes. They can win with just different fakes and no looks. They can win by doing blocking schemes. It's just a lot more ways to win when you have a plan. Without having a plan, it's harder to win. I'm not saying you can't win. I'm just saying you're making your life a whole lot harder. That's like saying I want to get to the mall. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'm not going to look at bus schedules. I'm not going to look at Uber. I'm just going to run out here and I'll just get there when I get there. So it's something that you want to plan. It helps you. With the niche, you can market better. I can't even tell you how to market. I can tell you how to market to everybody, but you're going to need $1 billion to do it. Where if you had a niche, you can do it with $20. So it's That's very important to your success, is that you pick a niche. Listen, let me make something really clear, right? If you are a lawyer headshot photographer, right? I'm not saying if somebody call you and say, we got headshots for seniors, can you shoot it? And you say, no, click. I'm not saying that. Still get that money. However, build your business to be reassuringly expensive in your niche and what you go after. I'm not saying you can't do everything else. I'm just saying we're not going to advertise everything else. We're not going to build a brand to go after everything else. If it falls on my lap, I'm going to take it. Straight up. And often when you start working with clients and you start doing one type of thing, they're going to be like, hey man, do you do this? Yeah, we do that too. Okay. I want to hire you to do this as well. I can tell you how many times we have shot corporate events and clients was like, we need, we're having a 50-year-old party for my grandma. Can you shoot it? They know my rates. Yeah, we can shoot it. Cool. Just send me an invoice. Plenty of times. I've done that for some of the biggest clients I have, hire me to shoot personal stuff on my same, at my same price. And I'll shoot stuff at their house. I'll shoot parties and all kind of stuff. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying focus on, make sure your business is efficient and effective in your niche. All right, my bad. Should you have big business rates and a small business rates at startup? Nope. You should only have big business rates, and you should offer discounts to small businesses, maybe because they're small businesses. Come up with a reason to meet their price if you want to work with them. Hey, you guys got a red door discount. The door is red? Yeah, you get a discount for that. Because that way, as they grow, you can grow with them. And you can't recover from being the cheap guy. Because small businesses turn into big businesses. And sometimes big businesses have problems and they turn into small businesses. You don't want to lose that money. You want to make sure your price is high and you give them a discount. So that's something you definitely want to think about. All right. My bad. Let me get caught up because I had some great questions come through. Let me see. He said, honestly, I think most of the business at my day job come from emails people have received. Yeah. Emails are still popping. People downplay emails, but emails are still popping. Emails are definitely still popping. It's definitely, it's there. It's a low hanging fruit. So my bad on missing that creative reflections. I want to make sure I got it. What should you do if you have a niche and you want to make it in photography and videography? I currently shoot everything. Oh, okay. I got that already. Zapier may work for that. There is some, look at MailChimp. MailChimp is great. I like MailChimp. There is some, depending on who you have your website through, I would go with a mail provider that can connect to your website. Because when you capture data, that's why I encourage people on my website. I have a phone number on my website, but it's not front and center because I don't want people to call me. I want people to submit their information via email or via my form so that I can capture their email and I can market to them at a later time, period. Listen, think about it like this, right? Flash Film Academy, we give away free courses, right? You got to sign up to get a free course. Now, if I come out with a new course or I come out with a new video, I can email it to everybody who signed up for a free course. I already know you're my ideal client. I already know you're somebody trying to grow your business. It makes sense that I communicate with you, period. You're my ideal client. We got a new video. I want to send it to you. Boom, bang, pow. I already got, my people who I can send it to. So something to think about. Question, contest update. There is some tricks to the contest that I'm trying to work out for those who I've told the contest about. But we're almost there. I promise you. We're almost there. He says, I'm honestly trying to figure out how to get into adult business. I got a leg in the boxing already. I'm moving to Vegas soon as this quarantine is over. Two guns. There are some YouTube videos, or at least the ones I heard of, that go into full detail on how to make that happen. I heard of them from a friend. Fun Film says, so nice to hear me on this mic. Yeah, I had to bust out the Sennheiser. How much is a reasonable fee for a 3 to 5 minute video? for a local online news outlet. I live in a small rural area, so options are limited. I wish I can answer that question. I don't even know what country you're in. Start high and work your way down. You got to think about it like this, right? When it comes to price, one of the most important thing about price is this, and you have to ask yourself, and this is something that is going to be on the master course. You got to ask yourself this: what do I need to make to be happy to do this job? What do I need to make to skate the whole time I do this job, to love showing up, to get me up and I don't even need coffee? Like, what do I need to make at this job? Like, I can't answer that for you. You got to know what that is. You got to know what's the minimum dollar amount that I can just rise up in the morning like, yes, I'm going to shoot some video. Like, you need to know what makes you dance on your way to the car. That's where you're going to start your pricing at. I can't determine that for you. Because for some people it's $50, for some people it's $500,000. Seriously. So I can't determine that for you. Now you can add in the cost of other stuff, but that minimum fee is in here somewhere. Only you know that. All right. Fun film. We answered that one already. Let me catch up real quick. Michael, good looking out on another super chat. He said, you said stop pricing for kits, price for the whole solution. Can you elaborate more on how your invoice work? I hear you have a day and an hourly rate. Okay. And this is perfect for, this is perfect because this is a good follow up to what I just said about finding that price. So I don't do kit prices. I just don't do it. Everything I shoot is cinema level. Like, that's something I use, and you should use it. If you're using a mirrorless camera or a cinema camera, hey, advertising is saying, hey, we're not using DSLRs. We're using mirrorless or we're using cinema camera as a way to show value. Because guess what? They got an inbox full of people that's showing up with DSLRs. You know what I'm saying? What kind of camera are you shooting with? We're shooting with a 5D Mark. Is that a DSLR? Yeah. If you are shooting with a DSLR, cool. You can say, hey, we're not shooting with an old traditional camera. We're shooting with a DSLR to give us shallow depth of field, whatever you got. If you got a red, we're shooting with reds. We're not shooting with, it's just a way to show value. It's just a way to show value. I personally have what's called a base rate, right? So just for math, my base rate, let's say it's $500, right? For me to shoot video, my base rate is $500. That's for the first hour. That is what it costs me to get out of my bed. When I go and fire up my truck, when I start my van, it costs $500. And it's just hypothetically for easy numbers. Now, each additional hour may be $200 an hour. Now, that may be for just me. If I'm doing a 2-man crew, it may be $750 for the first hour, and let's say $350 for each additional hour, right? Now, I know I have a list of a 1-person interview need 1 person, a 2-people interview need 2 people, a 3-people interview need 4 people. I have a list of breakdown of how many people I need per type of job. And then I can look at what the clients say and say, this is going to probably take 4 hours and this is your price. However, if we get done in 3, you see where you save, you see what the price difference will be. And if it take us 12, you know what the price difference is. That base rate is a daily base rate. So if I go 2 days, every day starts with that base rate. That is how I do my pricing. Now, there are a la carte items. My base camera is going to be a Blackmagic, right? A Ursa. That's my base camera. If you want me to shoot with the red, I will shoot with the red. If you want me to shoot with a C500, I will shoot with a C500. But I'm going to charge you to rent that equipment. I'm going to charge you an upgrade fee. I'm not going to charge you an hourly, then charge you for a kit in general. My initial cost comes with a great kit that is more than enough. So something to think about. Let me get to some of these super chats because I really, really appreciate you guys. Matrix Photo Design. Do you use Webform to pre-qualify your clients? Yes. On my website, when you fill out a form, it'll also send you a questionnaire. That questionnaire will ask you for more detail because to get your information, I don't want you to fill out a lot because that turns people off. I want you to fill out a little bit. But once I got your name, email, I can send you out a questionnaire to go into more detail. Now, depending on what you select, it notifies me that, hey, call this person. This person's looking to shoot an 8-day event at one of the top resorts in Dallas. This is not a $20 job. Let's make sure we contact them and we have a conversation with these people, because this is a big job. You want to handle it with care. So I do have my web form do pre-qualify, because some people, I'll ask for budget. Some people don't want to list it. I don't know. Or, if it's a music video, I kind of already know the budget. If it's at a .gmail, I kind of already know the budget. If it's at, the email address is at ibm.com or at acompany.com, I kind of got an idea on budget, that there is a budget. You know what I'm saying? So something to think about. Real quick, Creative Reflections. I see you. I ain't skipping it this time. It's bright orange. Thank you for your super chat. Can you make a contract pack that shows how you price breakdown to upsell clients on extras? Creative Reflections, that will be, I'm working on a master course, which is everything A to Z. That portion will be in that course. And like I say, I want to make sure I make this clear. It's not as easy as it sounds. And I want to teach you guys how to think about it and not what to think about it, because what will work in California won't work in New York. But if you understand the principles behind, how to position things, you'll get it. Then you can tweak it and do your own thing. Like I charge for teleprompters. Teleprompters is not a part of my package. However, I make sure I mention it. I make sure when I show behind the scenes footage, I show people on a teleprompter. That's just me. If you're not a public speaker and you don't speak a lot, you would probably want to get that. It's one of my easiest upsells, and it's a freaking $150, $200 teleprompter that's probably made me $30,000 this year. So it's just something to think about, because you can charge $500, $600 extra for it, depending on how long you're there and what type of shoot. All right, let me a $500 job in Houston is a $3,000 job in Vegas and a $10,000 job in LA. Facts. Do you directly explain the hourly rate and have pushback from clients trying to get you to agree to less production hours, thinking they'll save money? How do you handle that conversation? Hey, perfect. I'm glad you asked that question. That's a great question. You know what? I start with the base hour and we just let the clock run, and they agree to pay whatever we want to pay, whatever the time go. I'm upfront about it. I'm not going to guesstimate what we're going to charge you. You know what it is. So, and a lot of times it don't be me dragging my feet on set trying to film somebody. It be somebody messing up, or we gotta film the CFO, but he's on a call and he won't be off for 45 minutes. And we got to film, operations manager, and he's not available till 12. And we got this person speaking at 4, and we're on set the whole time. So I can look at that alone and tell you, hey, we're going to start at 9 and then we're going to work our way to 4 o'clock. You have an idea of your price, given that everything goes right. And then I may say, hey, we do want to shoot B-roll for 2 hours. So that's all I'm adding in. The rest depends on your people's ability to finish speaking. So it's just something to think about when you roll out that base price, and clients love it simply because I'm not BSing them. I'm not eyeballing it, right? If a client feel like you're sitting there looking like, I think I'm gonna charge you $600, they don't trust you. They don't trust you. But when you have it laid out and they can calculate because you know what? Since I rolled out my proposals with the built-in pricing structure, I've had more clients offer or buy more from me than less. I've had clients that say, hey, we looked at it and we want to schedule you for 3 days. And we want to do this, and we want the teleprompter, and we want to get, we want to add the drone shots, and we want to, so it's worked to my benefit. Instead of me eyeballing it and trying to think of, what did I charge y'all last time, y'all? I know what I charged y'all, and they can just do the math. Matrix. It says, if you get a lead from a pay per lead site, how do you answer? So I use Thumbtack. I've used it. I built my business on Thumbtack. I was one of Thumbtack's lead videographers in the area. And I want to easily say I did six figures on Thumbtack easily. Like it was, I did so much on Thumbtack that Thumbtack would bring me to events to speak on their behalf. So those sites are tricky. I can't speak to all of them. But my thing is this, right? This is what you got to think about when you think about pay-per-lead sites, right? Some sites are really good at helping the client explain what they're looking for, right? Some clients are really good at helping the client explain it. Some sites are not. So you're paying for a lead and you don't have a full understanding as to what the client want. And you can pay for it and you can be like, this is you trying to do a $20 video, man. You're wasting my time. I just paid $40 for that lead. So this is what I used to think, or what I started thinking about, right? What is companies like Thumbtack paying to be higher than me in Google? Because that's all they're doing is they're beating you on the Google side of things. And then you got to go there and then you got to split your chances at getting that client, right? When you have a niche, it's so much cheaper for you to outbid Thumbtack, because even though Thumbtack's a big business, they're trying to advertise. They're spreading around $1 million trying to be up under everything possible when it comes to video, right? So they can't, you can outbid them or at least get second or third or on the same first page as them in a particular niche, where you can get, instead of getting, let's say they get 100 leads a day, hypothetically, right? Out of them 100 leads, they get split up and divided. And if you may bid on 6 of them, right? Why bid on 6 when you can advertise? And let's say you get let's say they number 1, you number 3. So let's say you get 40% of the leads they get. So now you got 40 leads instead of 6 leads. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes more sense to do that than to put yourself in a position where you're fighting for 6 leads. What Thumbtack and those sites do is they want you to believe that, I don't say they want you to believe, they live in a world where people feel like it's hard to generate leads, right? If you don't have a niche, it's hard to generate leads, right? If you don't understand the business side of it, it's hard to generate leads. If you don't look like a company that businesses want to do business with, it's hard to generate leads, right? And I'll be honest with you, it really comes from just half-assing it, right? It comes from half-assing it. I'm just going to be real with you, right? So Thumbtack look like a company they can trust. So that's why they go through Thumbtack to find leads. A lot of people don't want to spend money on marketing. They want to just be word of mouth. They don't want to have a good website. They just want people to magically call their number and book them, right? When you have a website that looks good because you've invested in it, you got a brand that looks good because you've invested in it, and you spend money to market it, to be up there next to those companies, and you specialize in it, you won't need those companies. Those companies, you won't need those companies at all. So that's what I suggest you do. That's why it's important you have a niche, because you'll be able to, if you're under Thumbtack, if you're 5 slots under Thumbtack, you're still getting 12%, 15%, 20% of the leads that they're getting. And then those leads that they're getting is getting divided amongst the 100 photographers that's just hungry for business. When you can get all of those people, you can get 12% of them people and have them to yourself for a fraction of what you would pay per lead on Thumbtack. So can those sites help you? Yeah. But when you kind of enforce my method a little bit, you won't need them. You won't need them. You go from chasing the cat to having the cat chase you. That's the importance of it. Somebody said for live streaming, Elgato Gaming Fun Film. I actually have one of them that I am going to take back because it does not allow me to go through the webcam, and you got to go through their software or OBS. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Make sure I got all the questions real quick. What do I recommend for insurance? There's a company called Act Insurance to cover you for a year, or they'll cover you per event. That's what I like about it. And I roll that event coverage into my price. I like to have insurance per event because I get clients who need to be on the insurance. If I have insurance for the year, they can't be on it. So some clients that you work with, when you start working with big clients, especially when they're holding events in in big places, they want you to have a policy that is of a certain dollar amount, a $2 million policy, and they want their name on it. Well, I'm not going to put their name on a yearly contract. I can put it on a weekend contract. Fun Films say so many gigs under 150. That's another thing I don't like about Thumbtack. They are for price shoppers. They're not for value shoppers. Because even a value shopper will get on there and be like, I can get a headshot for 150. I thought it was going to be 400. Let me just see how many people I can get for 150. They never go for their full potential. Nope. The thought of when COVID-19 is over, I thought of offering live streaming. Carl Bell, you should be offering live streaming now. Right now it is a live streaming. My mailbox is full of companies that are hitting me up about live streaming more than ever. Right now is the time. Definitely. Act Insurance. Yep. Just to be clear, quickly list what you mean by events. When I say events, I mean corporate event photography, corporate event videography, things like that. Oh, new store openings. If you were saying starting out, would you consider getting your first clients from marketplaces that charge 20% off your service? Yeah, I've done it. If your price is too low, you're not. If they're taking 20% off a website with price shoppers, you're not gonna make it. They're making it. So that's the thing. If right now is live streaming all day and night. Right now is live streaming all day and night. I was thinking about coming out with I did a poll a while back. I was thinking about coming out with a course talking about how to dominate Thumbtack, but I didn't get a lot of kickback from viewers. Like, would you guys benefit from it? They were like, nah. He said, right now, you speaking events, I get the corporate thing, just regular. I mean, listen, I've shot a lot of corporate events that's led to shooting bar mitzvahs and stuff, bro. Like I focused on just the corporate side of it, and they'll have family or friends, and they'll just like the images, like, hey man, do you shoot blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I'll shoot it. You know my rates. When is it? And I'll go shoot it. I don't care. As long as my rate is getting paid, bro, I don't care. What do you need to get into live streaming? You need a streaming card or sling, and a camera, or the new A10 Mini by Blackmagic is a great way to get into it, as long as you got a way to stream. How much should you expect to pay to get your website SEO? Tricky, because that depends on your niche, right? If you're in a niche that's crowded, if you're doing lawyers, you're going to spend a whole lot of money. Whole lot of money. If you're doing executive headshots, you may spend a lot less. SEO is tricky. Now, depending on what platform your website is on as well. If your platform, if you're on Squarespace, it's a lot easier than WordPress. Even though WordPress has a lot of plugins that say they'll do it, to pay somebody to thoroughly go through WordPress, it costs a little more than if you pay somebody to do the Squarespace side of it. So something to think about. Clients on Thumbtack lowball. I've been screwed over on that platform. Listen, I had a pitch on Thumbtack to let people know that I'm not going to be the cheapest guy on here. I'm going to offer the best quality. I'm not going to be the cheapest guy on here though. And people understood that. Like people got it. Don't even hit me back if you want a cheap price. Hit me back if you want the work done right. And that was just something I positioned in the beginning, and it helped me curve a lot of those low ballers. Can you comment on the Blackmagic recorder for live streaming? Is it only for Mac? Nope. Mac and PC. You still have something you gotta still stream the signal. The ATEM switcher is technically not a streamer. It allows you to connect multiple cameras to do a multi-cam setup. So something to think about. It says when you home in on a Facebook ad, the number of people it reaches goes down. What's the ideal number of people you want to hit with that ad? It depends on the niche, right? It just depends. If I'm a wedding photographer, I'm going to hit less people who are engaged than if I was a dog photographer, because there's so many more people with dogs. It's ridiculous. So something to think about. Something to think about. It says, hello, Ty. Is your course more based on going after corporate than people, meaning my niche is wedding photography? So would the course help me? Yes, the course will definitely help you. The course talks about it talks about the business side of it. Companies buy from companies, people buy from people, right? If you understand that and still apply what I'm telling you, you can still go after whichever niche you want. It's just that if you're doing wedding photography, they're going to expect a certain level of quality and they'll feel comfortable with the business side, even though it's tailored for a person. I'll give you an example. If you are a wedding photographer, right, and you say, hey, we have a team of photographers. I'm doing it, but God forbid something happened to me and on this wedding that you're booking for 2026 right now, hypothetically speaking, I have a team of photographers that offers the same level of quality I offer, and no matter what, somebody will be there. So you have that kind of insurance protocol in place compared to if you go with John Smith photography and John Smith catch the flu or the cold or whatever, he slipped and sprained his ankle, you're just without a photographer that day. Matrix photo design. Should I hire SEO to learn it? To do it myself? I have 3 websites. I personally, I used to do a lot of web design. I have some knowledge in HTML, but I'm to the point now where I'm so focused on business that I'll just pay the money to have it done. I'll learn enough about it to be able to know that I'm not getting gypped or robbed. But I'm gonna pay an expert to do it, right? Because think about it. You want somebody to pay an expert to come in and do their video. They're not gonna bring you in and learn how to shoot video or take photography, right? They're just gonna pay an expert to do it. And at some point with your business, you got to do the same. You got to be like, all right, look, I'm gonna pay you to do it, knock it out the park, show me some results. So I would pay someone. Fiverr is dirt cheap. I had a guy recently re-go through my SEO, my Squarespace page for like $50, $40. Did a good job. My rank jumped a lot. It was just old stuff. So something to think about. How do you get clients if you don't have a strong portfolio? It's not impossible to get clients. You're just making it harder on yourself. Listen, when you don't focus on the business side, the brand side, the marketing side, I'm not saying you can't get clients. It's just harder to get clients, right? If you're a guy and you don't get your hair cut, you don't got no decent shoes on, you leaning on a raggedy car, you can find beautiful women. It's just going to be harder to do it. You better be funny as hell. You better have a good smile or something. It's going to be harder to do it. But if you take care of yourself, you got something going for yourself, you got a good business going, you're clean shaven or you're well groomed, you're leaning on a Lamborghini, it's a whole lot easier to find somebody cute. That's what I'm saying. That's how you got to look at it. I'm not saying it can't be done. Women, it's the same thing. I can flip it around for women and they can understand the same thing. If you take care of yourself, if your hair ain't done and your nails ain't done and your feet looking terrible and you got the wrong outfit on and you know what I'm saying? You got the wrong bra on, you can find a man. You may not be the man you want. It may be hard to get the guy you need. You're missing a tooth and, you know, you're looking jacked up. You can find whatever, it's possible. But when you work on yourself, you can attract what you want. So that's why it's important to focus on yourself before you run out here and saying, I want this, I want that. Make sure you work on yourself. Make sure yourself you're right, your portfolio right, your website right, your color palette is right, you got shirts. Make sure you do all of that. And when you go out, you're going to see how easy it is to get clients, how the money start rolling in, how clients are blowing your phone up, how your calendar is booked when you have worked on yourself and worked on your business. A lot of people want to run out here just because they didn't spend money on the wrong stuff. They want to run out here and recoup that money back. And then they're like, man, I don't understand what's up with business. Like, I'm not getting the business I was getting. Like, what's up? Like, why ain't I getting what I thought I was going to get? Because you haven't invested in the right stuff. Just haven't invested in the right stuff. And I just want to be honest with you. It's just like dating. It's just like the dating world. If you go out here and you're jacked up, your breath stink, your hair ain't combed, you got cold in your eye, your shirt dingy, you ain't even got to be like expensive. You ain't even got to be like Gucci shirts and Prada. You could just have a clean shirt from Target and do way better than a guy who has a dingy shirt with a hole in it that stink and he don't spray deodorant or he don't put deodorant on or he don't brush his teeth. You don't even got to be that out there. You could just be a clean cut gentleman that's well groomed and a $10 Walmart shirt and some $20 pants, leaning on a very clean 1996 Toyota Camry that's well taken care of, and with a little Armor All on the tires, and do way better than a guy that's just don't care about his appearance and just bummy. So think about your brand like that. When you approach a client, think about your company like that. Somebody said, let us know what we can do with a stimulus check when we have all of our equipment. What's next? Branding is next. Business is next. Having your website is next. Making sure your portfolio is popping. That's what's next. Let me get to the next one real quick. I want to make sure I get to the next one in the list because I ended on number 1. Number 2. Once you know your niche, once you know what you want to do, you'll be able to determine the right gear to buy. A lot of us make the mistake of going out buying everything just in case, and we never use it. We never need it. It collects dust. He says, so I use Elgato Camlink 4K for my clients and myself for live streaming. I use live Streamlabs OBS and regular OBS. What do you recommend as an alternative? Sling is always an alternative. I actually got one. I like it. You can't see it because the focus is on me. I like it because anytime you guys see me filming and I can grab your questions and throw them on the screen, I was using this. It's pretty decent. I just got to work out some things. Sling gives me a little more flexibility if I want to do multicam, if I want to show y'all screen. So you want to make sure that something a little more. I mean, you can get it done with that. You just need something to switch it. Go get an ATEM switcher, ATEM Mini, and then you can switch different cameras if you want a multicam setup. Good looking out, Fun Film. He said you're on number 2. We're gonna be here all night. Now I'm about to run through a few of these. So make sure you run through a few of these. You may want to beef up if you're having problems with it, you may want to beef up the computer that you're connecting it to. So that's number 2. Number 2 is understanding that don't pick gear. Don't think about buying gear until you know what you want to do. A lot of people buy stuff and they're buying wide angle lenses and they're shooting, bird photography. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you at all. Let's get to number 3. He says, what do you use on Fiverr for SEO? Depending on what platform your website is on, search for people who specialize in SEO for your platform. All right. Number 3, 50% of what you do is business. 25% is offering a solution, and the other 25% is the filming aspect of it. Got to make sure you understand that before you get into this industry. Got to make sure you understand that. Matrix, how would you handle Project Reach? Let me look up Project Reach. I'm not even familiar with it. Let me look that up real quick. I'm not familiar with Project Reach. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to have to look that up so I can, I said, can I repeat question 1? Nope. So invest in your marketing, invest in your business, invest in your website. Let me see what Project Reach is. Project Reach targets ages 10 through 18 for networking community resources. I don't know if I'm on the right thing. Let me make sure I'm on the right thing. Oh, okay. He says clients that add more work after the project, after the quote. Okay, I like that. So he's saying, how would I handle clients that add more work after they've been sent the quote? What's great about my proposal is because it's broken down with the hourly rate, they can almost look at it and see what it'll cost to add what they want to add. We'll just go up on the price. No problem. That's going to be another 2 hours worth of work that day. It's probably going to take us another 2 hours, so I'll just add that on. Even if they add it while we're on location, cool. We're just going to take our sweet time and do it, and we'll stay here an extra hour. And then you got to realize this, and let me make sure I make this clear. So filming, right? Me showing up to film is a separate price than me editing, right? Editing, I do something very similar. Something like $400 for the first minute, $150 for each additional minute. I may charge extra for subtitling. I may charge extra for my $400 includes royalty-free music because I got like Artlist and I got a subscription. I'm not paying extra. So Editing is the same. So think about it. If you got a project for me and we're saying 3 hours, 2 hours, you know what the base price is. You know what 2 extra hours is. Plus editing. You say you want this to be a 2-minute video? Cool. Base price on editing plus an extra hour. So that's my price. That's how they can work out the price. So they can add whatever they want to add. I'm cool with it. Number 4, be organized. Be organized. Stop eyeballing it. Stop using notes on your computer. Use something like HoneyBook. Tave is pretty good. Proposalify is very good. Use something to keep track of your clients, right? If you go somewhere like Squarespace, you can get apps that connect to your website and integrate into your website. So if you use something like Tave, you can automatically send over that email list to MailChimp so you can send out your marketing. Use stuff that work together, that link together based off your platform. If you got WordPress, that's the greatest thing about WordPress is everything links in with WordPress, and you can send over a ton of stuff, and you can have everything working with everything. So something to definitely think about. Blackbox denied me. Yeah, that's yeah, that's not good. I mean, I've used Blackbox a little bit, but I'm not crazy about it. I am crazy about it, but that's parts of it I'm not. Ty said act insurance is $30 to $40 per weekend. You can also get it annually. Yes, listen, when clients want insurance, you charge them for insurance. Don't charge them $30 to $40. I charge a $100 flat fee. It is what it is. Positive Black Dad, what's going on? Been enjoying these chats so much. Value added, definitely MVP. Quarantine MVP Ty. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Somebody said Google Enterprise works wonders. I think I missed the question. He said, if I have my LLC name, but want a niche name website, do I need to open separate companies? Just to have, nope, you can have a parent company and then you can have a DBA, which is doing business as. DBAs are really cheap. I know back in Michigan, they were like $26, something like that. Somebody said, I know gear is not the end all be all, but I've worked overtime, to either first get a drone or 360 camera targeting construction repair companies. What is your option? Or my opinion, I can't even read right now. My opinion is, have you spent the equal amount to get the business, right? Equipment don't matter. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be really real with you. If you got rid of every piece of equipment you own right now, all of it, everything. If I had no equipment, I still can book jobs and I still can show up with equipment. Because I could either A, rent it, or I can be a broker and hire somebody to show up and film it. I know people who have production companies that don't own video equipment. They just do the business side of it. They do the negotiation. They work out a $30,000 video deal and they pay somebody $10,000 to show up and shoot it. Something you may want to think about. You don't need all of the gear. You don't need all of the gear. The gear will not... I don't want to say gear won't make you money. Gear is like guns. Like sitting on your couch is not going to shoot nobody. It's perfect if you're in war, but if you're not in a position where you need it, it's no good. It does nothing for you, right? A gun is $1,000 investment that you probably won't use unless you put yourself in a position where you can use it, like hunting. Or in the middle of a war somewhere, then it becomes valuable. Just buying a gun is not going to bring deer and your deer meat on your table. It just don't work like that. Like you have to be good at hunting deer. You can get all the tactical scopes and all the crap you want, tree stands and all of that. If you're not good at hunting, a gun will not bring you deer meat. You have to invest in your understanding of hunting, how to hunt, how to track deer, where to go before you go and just buy a $30,000 rifle with a smart bullet on it. You have to make sure you understand how important that is because it's way more important than the gear. A really good hunter can get close enough to a deer to take that bad boy out with a throwing knife, a ninja star, a bow and arrow. A bad hunter needs a really big gun. But if you understand how to hunt, gear is not as important as you think it is. It's just not. I'm gonna tell you that because I've sat down after making really big, dumb camera purchases like this. I don't even really need this. You ever upgrade to the latest iPhone every year and you're like, it's just the same. Like I got to wait 4 years before I upgrade. I don't want to upgrade every year because it's just the same. I feel like that when I make big, dumb purchases. Somebody said I bought a Smith & Wesson M&P shield with a laser grip, personal protection. Love it. I do. I got one too. Same one. Love it. I'm in Texas, so you got to. Yep. Make sure you have your drone pilot license. Make sure you have that. Make sure you have your pilot license. They're not playing with that. If you are a member, go look at Ty's Tales and you'll learn what I'm talking about. Okay. What number we on? 5. Yes. Let's get to 5 because 5 is important. One of the most important lessons, important parts in this whole video is the fact that you need to understand that your business, stop trying to take me back, your business will live and die on your ability to execute your marketing plan. Execute it, not talk about it, not attempt it, not think about it. Execute it. You got to be able to execute your plan. You got to make a plan that you can execute. It's really important. What's in the cup? It's just water. I promise you. You got to be able to execute that plan. If you can't execute that plan, it's going to be rough. It's easier to execute that plan when you have a niche. When you have a niche, when you know what you're going after, when you're doing everything, it's hard to execute a plan that's for everybody. That is why car companies don't make one car. That's why they don't make one color. That's why they make it so you can, one car company, GM probably makes 80 cars in however many colors. It's for a reason. They don't go after everybody. Let me see. So, something to think about. What do you think about the Pixel? The C100 Lite? The C100 Lite? Maybe I missed half that question. I'm using the C100 right now. I love it. So, you got to make sure you execute that plan. Make sure you know who your niche is. Make sure you market to that audience. You do the research on who is my client, who is my ideal customer. Somebody post one of their niches. Let me post one of your niches in the chat room. I just want to see something real quick. Just your niche. That's it. My niche is, give me one of them. One specific. It got to cut 3 layers deep. It can't just be corporate video. It needs to be something deeper than that. Hey, Ty, do you recommend hiring a company to be a registered agent when establishing an LLC? John, yes. Yes. I hired a company to do all my LLC work. It cost me about $150, but it was worth it. Okay. When it comes to promo, when it comes to a niche, I need something, y'all got to cut deeper than that, right? Restaurants, that's not deep enough, right? What are you doing in restaurants? We're doing corporate videos for fast food restaurants. That's a niche. Music videos. What type of music videos? We're doing music videos for hip hop artists. You can even cut deeper than that tell a story. So we shoot music videos that tell a story. So you ain't just in a club. You got to cut deeper than that. I need a niche that cuts deep. Social media website content for coffee businesses. Okay. I like that. Boxing video, marketing analytics. I like that. Time my niche is newborn documentaries. How I test my idea. Can your service be patented? And how can I protect clients' info in my company? I don't know if you can patent a service. To film a baby being born is difficult to patent it. However, you can call it something different and you can patent that term, so to speak. You can't patent that idea. I'm sure you know somebody having a baby. Hey man, can I bust in there and film your wife while she popping a baby out? I want to make something dope with it. That's how I will get started. So let's pause. Let's talk about that, right? Promoting girls with good bras. Let's talk about that. Let's say that's my niche, right? My niche is newborn documentaries. I want to show, and I'm just running with your idea because I want to use it as an example. I want to show the mother giving birth, her first few minutes with the new baby, maybe even a few shots of her pregnant, just seeing what her and dad's going through, right? I know based off that, and this is just me spending 10 minutes in in his shoes, in his business shoes. I know that if I was to start a Facebook campaign, I would target pregnant women. Boom. Just that easy. Just that simple. I would target pregnant women or men who have posted about being a dad. Now I don't got to reach now I'm not advertising to every woman on Facebook. I can advertise to I can just advertise to pregnant women. Facebook is so crazy. You can advertise to people that post ultrasound pictures. Like, it's crazy. So who is my target audience? Well, what's the average age range of having a kid? 16 to 45. Now I know my average client is a female or a male, depending on which way I go, between the ages of 16 and 45, maybe married, engaged. That's my ideal client. Now I can think of a brand name to fit that. Let's say I go after the mom and I want her on it. My ideal name could be something that she would, that would appeal to her. That's your ideal client. My colors would be based on that. I may go with a lavender and a little bit of pinkish and a little bit of teal. I may spruce it up to get her attention because that's my ideal client. Everything that I build is around my ideal client. That makes it so much easier for me to be successful. So when you're building stuff, when you're building your brand, it's people going dirty right now. It's all good. When you build your brand, it's so much easier for you to be successful because you understand who your target audience is and you can build it for your target audience. Cold showering. Man, y'all are funny, man. I love watching y'all, reading your comments. But make sure that your niche is 3 layers deep. Right? If you're going to do wedding photography, do a special type of wedding photography. Don't just do I'm just a wedding photographer. Nope. I am a black and white wedding photographer. I do black and white photos that tell a story. I do I do wedding photographies with weddings that have animals. Or dig deep. Dig one more layer deep. I promise you it'll be worth it. So stop giving us ammo to be funny. I love y'all being funny, man. That makes my job a lot easier. And that covers number 6 on thinking outside the box. Add a 3rd layer to your niche. Think outside the box. Add that 3rd layer to it. Boom, number 7. Told y'all we was going to run through these. Not to build your business on the old business model. Get out of how your dad shot video. It's not there no more. Get out of the old business model. Right? Stop charging package prices and get out of that. You just paying for me to show up, and then now you got to pay me to. You paid me for me, but you didn't pay me to bring a camera, so I'm just here doing this all day. No, get out of that. Get out of that. Offer the solution. I know I missed about 50 comments. I read them. They was throwing me off. They was funny. They was throwing me off, but I definitely read them. So, missionaries on the field who want to communicate with their ministry to financial support their home and their home country. That's deep. That's a good niche. That's how deep it should be. 3 layers, deep targeting. Somebody said we only want rich folks with money. If you go to if your niche is, Rolex videos, you're going to attract what you want to attract. So now when you got your niche, you got your business, then you can buy the equipment that suits what you're trying to do. Something to think about. Somebody said, I'm going strippers in the strip club. Hey man, if you go, let's say your niche is strippers in the strip club. Let's just play with that for a minute, right? Let's say you're doing interviews of strippers in the strip club, right? That's your niche. Now you need a lot of glass that help you with low light. You need a good low light camera. A7S Mark II would be a good camera for that. Now you know. You went and bought a Blackmagic, the original 4K. It can't shoot in dark. You jacked up. You're mad. CRP Media with everybody posted $signs with the big baller super chat. I want to say I thank you for I even get to the question. Just talk to a local restaurant owner to do a video on essential businesses. In exchange, I get a video testimonial and run through the sales. Not only do they want me to do food photography for them, he said, and not only that, they want me to do food photography for them. Thanks, Todd. It really worked. Okay, so what he's talking about is I tell you, there's a video I got on Flash Film Academy that talks about getting paid to shoot for free, right? When you go out and you build that portfolio, you need to do more than just get video. You need to go through your whole sales process. You need to talk to your ideal client. You need to pick their brain. You need to find out what they like, what they don't like, what's work. Use that opportunity to build your brand. Don't just leave with just video. If you leave with just stuff for your portfolio and they got video for their page, they won, you didn't win. Pick their brain. Do as much as you can. The people that I built my portfolio with, I still go back and practice with them. I still go back and shoot stuff. Even though they've hired me and paid me, whenever I got something I want to shoot or try, I can call them and they're like, yo, come in. Yeah, you can shoot in the office. Bet. Cool. I still go back and work with them because I still use them to grow my business. And they refer me to a lot of people. So yeah, get that video testimonial. Build your brand off using those people. With shotgun mic, this is the Sennheiser MKH 416. So just something to think about. How do you react if your client has no manners and is disrespectful, and he's one of your main clients? Main client as in he work with me a lot, or main client as in he has a huge budget? I'm gonna tell you one thing, and you know what I like about being the business owner? Is I can tell you to I can say what I want to say. I don't got nobody to answer to, right? So if you're that nasty, I can tell you how I really feel. And if you wild out after you pay the deposit, oh, we can really talk. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't, I'm not saying I pop off on people, but when you still gonna respect me. I'm still a man. There's been times you have a client that pop off sometimes. It happens. I've had clients that pop off sometimes, and I have to wheel them back in. Let me explain who you're working with. Let me explain who you're working with and what's required of you for this deal to happen, and respect is what's required from you. And that's just, it is what it is. It's just, that's the good thing about owning your own business. You can say, peace. I don't got to deal with this. I don't got to be at Walmart getting cussed out saying, dang, I really need this job. When I own my own business, I can do what I want. And naturally, I want to offer people the best situation and customer service that I can offer them, but you still want to be respected, right? You still want to be respected. Somebody said, be peaceful until the check cashes. If you pay the deposit, I've already got the check. I'm gonna cut into you. I'm very respectful. Like I'm a mild tempered guy, right? I'm military. So I'm used to working in situations where you need to be logical before you be emotional. I'm not a really emotional fly off the hook guy. It's just not me. I am a thinker. I like to think my way out of situations. So I'm not going to say I pop off all the time, but I'll give you an example. I had a client, one of my most recent clients was a pain in the buttocks. She was a pain. And she kept asking for revisions. And I was like, all right, we're charging you for, I'm not paying because you should have did this and you should have did. And you know what? She popped off and I didn't pop off. I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. All right. I sent her an email and I said, look, this is what's going to happen. You're going to we're going to fix this, like you said. And we're going to complete this video. Or if you don't reply or ask me to do something else, I'm going to charge you, or I'm going to assume that you no longer want to move forward with this video. I'm going to hold the footage for 15 days and then I'm going to delete it and we can go our separate ways. However, you just spent half the money for nothing. So a lot of times they'll get their stuff together. A lot of times you get people wild out on you because you're not flexible enough. Business is not, let me, and I got a video coming about this. Business is not a place for emotions. It is war, right? It is chess. Business is not a place to make friends. That's why people say it's just business. You've heard that term. It's just business. Business is not about being friendly, right? Business literally is the nicest way. What is the nicest way I can rob you almost? Like business is a cutthroat environment. Business is how can I turn my dollar? How can I spend $1 and make you spend $2? Now you get something, you benefit from it, but business It is what it is. Your iPhone costs $160 to make. Business is making you pay $1,000 for something that it cost them $160 to make. It's just business. If you are emotional, you will not make it. It is war. If you are, oh, well, their pockets, they don't got the money, and you will not make it. This is not the place for you. Go do something else. Go do freelancing. But business, that's why assholes excel at business, right? Some of the biggest businessmen are complete assholes. Warren Buffett is an asshole. Bill Gates is an asshole. All those guys are assholes. They're complete assholes, right? They can butter it up for TV and be like, oh, hey, all right, camera's off. Get this mic off me, man. I'm out of here, right? You have to be, or you will get ran over. You will get bent over in business. I don't want to, listen, I can see the unsubscribers happening right now because some people just can't handle the raw realness. I can see people unsubscribing right now, right? My mom's probably texting me like, chill. But I don't want to be, you're not going to get BS'd on this channel, fam. I'm not going to tell you what it ain't. You got 50,000 channels just to push indie filters on you, right? I just want to be real with you. Like, business is nasty, bro. Business is a nasty place to be. It's nasty. No, nothing wants to work. Okay. Business is just not, it's just not the place to be. Let me just cut this off then. And if you think that you are going to tiptoe and be all sweet and nice and I just want to be, you're not going to make it, fam. You're just not going to make it. You have to speak speak softly and carry a big stick. You gotta be about what you about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta go in there with your line drawn and you have to do business based off that. Right? There's nothing in the world you can do to make Mercedes give you a car for $20,000. I don't care how nice you are. You're not getting a car out of me for $20,000. I don't care. So you have to build your brand to be that strong, male or female. I don't care what, you know what I'm saying? But if you go in there willy-nilly, oh, maybe we can, it's a nonprofit for the kids and oh man, I really want these kids to get a meal and blah, blah, blah. Bruh, you guys are nonprofit. I'm for profit. If you want the service that I offer, you're going to spend this dollar amount. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't tell your kids, oh, we don't have a Christmas this year because daddy was nice and he wanted all the starving cats to have a new cup of milk. No, it's just business. You have to be that stern when it comes to business. You can't get ran over. And my policy is respect. I'm going to respect you. You're going to respect me, right? I don't care what age, what gender, what race, where you're from. I don't care. I've worked with the president. I've worked with high-end generals, people like that. They respect you. Nobody I know who work with me, who work with anybody in the military, they respect you. So when you start working with people who, or work alongside of people or near people, they respect you. I've worked on NFL sidelines and you'll have people diving and they're going to respect you. So that's something you got to think about. I got friends who sat across from presidents all day long and they were privates and they were still respected. So respect is non-negotiable. All right. Let me get back to it. Let's go to the last question. Number 10. Number 9 real quick. No, we're back on 8. Y'all got me tripped up. Number 8, real quick. Don't name your brand after yourself. I've expressed it in every video. It's your daddy's way of doing business. Don't do it. Don't do it. Really important that you don't do it. You can't sell that business and you can't book 2 jobs at once if you name your brand after yourself. You may can get away with just the last name, but they're still going to be looking for a relative to show up. Don't do it. It's just an old business model, right? It's just a lazy business model. Don't do it. Number 9, you attract what you are. I said that earlier. If you're a well-groomed individual with nice, neat shirts, and great smile, and great, you take care of yourself and you smell good, you're going to attract somebody that's just like that. You're not going to attract somebody that's busted and disgusted. You will still attract people that's busted and disgusted. You just won't attract people that bring what you bring to the table. So the goal is to make sure that you present yourself to attract people to attract what you are. Somebody say Bill Gates and Salma Hayek tax. If I film you a fool, man, I love it. Definitely. So remember what your brand is. If your brand is built to be a high-end company, you're going to attract a high-end company. So think about that. Somebody, Matrix says, Squarespace is so easy, Wix screams amateur. Yes, I agree. I don't like Wix. I like Squarespace. Squarespace need to offer me a deal because I'm talking about them way too much. Listen, building a website it's easy. It's not about the HTML no more. It's about the content, the copy. That's the hard part. Number 9. Oh, we already did that. Number 10. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about number 10. Somebody said Quist hating on Wix. I see too many Wix pages where people they just still got built by Wix at the bottom. I like the fact that nobody knew I got a Squarespace page until I told you about it. You had no idea. But let's talk about number 10, because number 10 is important. Let me take a sip of my water because we're at 120. We're cutting off at 130. Stun, you've been having so much fun that you didn't realize I ran through all 10 of them. Content is always king. Make sure you get good copywriters or get somebody to write what's on your page. It's like a resume, right? I'm gonna give you this quick story before I go to number 10. I used to work at Career Builder, right? Back in the day in Atlanta. And I used to see a billion resumes, right? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt within 0.3 seconds of who wrote their resume and who had their resume professionally written. I can tell you, and it would be like executive positions, like your cousin wrote this. It's not bad. The grammar isn't bad, but it's not modern. It's not up to date. It's not current, right? At that time and still now, resumes were being written for search engines. They were being written with SEO in mind, right? Because clients aren't looking through every resume. They're putting in keywords, seeing what resumes have the top keywords. They're pulling those resumes and then they'll look through them. So if your resume was written to be all nice and dope, it just wasn't getting the love, right? I would tell people to go get a professional resume writer. Just do it. Trust me. You'll see the difference. And people who would take that advice will go places. People who think that they can eyeball it and figure it out themselves without reading a book on resumes or the trends of resumes, they had difficulties with it. They just did. It is what it is. So when it comes to copyright, when it comes to getting your page and items written on your page, go get a copywriter, right? That understands SEO, that understands how to sell to a client and let them take your message and take it to the next level. Don't try to eyeball it. There is no way you can be a company that's asking people to invest in you. Hey, bring me in because I'm the expert to shoot your videos, and you are not willing to do that for your company. It's not going to happen. You won't make it. All right. Number 1, last but not least, the most important thing you have in all of your tool bag is your personality, right? My personality is why people want to work with me. My content and what I'm able to create for them is why they keep coming back. My personality is what get them. You want to make sure, I don't care if you're an introvert or extrovert, a oververt or undervert, whatever vert, you can be Gerald Levert, Teddy Levert, whatever vert you are. You want to make sure that you have a good personality. People enjoy working with you. People enjoy talking to you. You always upbeat. They know that this is the best job in the world to you. You love doing it. You want to make sure that when you walk in the door, they remember how they felt when they filmed with you, when they work with you, when you had a meeting. You want to make sure that they remember that. Now, I'm going to tell you some underlining stuff that you're not going to read in the book. When your base price is what you need to get out of bed, it makes that a whole lot easier. Makes it a whole lot easier to put on that clown suit when that check real nice. That's why I tell you, don't try to be the cheap guy. When you there and you're like, I'm barely getting paid for this crap. I'm about to do this and do that. Let me go ahead. Yeah. Okay. No. You want to be in that mug with stuff in your Amazon cart that you done loaded on the way to the job that you about to cash out soon as the check clear. You want to be happy. Like, I'm about to get a new this. You want to be that guy. Your personality is very important. Now, you got to be honest with yourself because a lot of people may not have the personality for this. You just may not have it. Now, I'm not saying you need to go jump off a bridge. I'm saying you need to develop it. Be more outgoing. Have more fun. Don't be a quiet camera guy. That's creepy. Quiet camera guys are serial killers. They're creepy. No BS. Don't be that. Don't be a quiet camera. What if I just stood here with you? Let me just stay here with you for a minute. Do you want to work with that guy? Yeah. You don't want to work with that guy. Nobody wants to work with that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. And that's where I'm going to end it. That's where we're going to put a fork in it. You don't want to be creepy. That's them boudoir photographers. Yeah, I know a lot of boudoir photographers that can't get jobs because they look creepy. Their eyes get too big. I know a lot of women that will only work with women boudoir photographers. That's all they want. No guys. So that's women can excel at that. They can kill it because guys are just blew it. Guys are just creepy when they do them. You know what I'm saying? They just creepy. You need some more baby oil? I can rub it on there for you. You don't want to be that guy. So I try not to be that guy. Somebody said I spent $3,000 for all my gear. I have a Nikon, whole bunch of stuff. Now I need to make money for better equipment. Carl, how much you spend $3,000 on gear? How much you spend on website, courses, copywriting? You got to spend at least double that. No mouth breathing allowed. Sometimes you got to dress in the costume to get the job done. Mentally, that is correct. You think everybody on TV feel like being on TV all day, every day? Sometimes it's hard for me to get on here like, I'm having a long day. I'm having a bad day. I had a live one time, and it was right after I got the news of a family member passing. You couldn't tell. I'm going to give you an example for the whole, and it's just some personal stuff. I had a granddad that suffered from, that caught the virus. We couldn't find him for 2 weeks. Thought he was in a body bag. He's all right now, thank God, but I still got to come on here and do what I do. I'm not going to be on here like, yeah, guys, whatever, but those are things you go through, and you still have to make sure that you can separate that from your job, from what you do. So you want to make sure that you understand the value of your personality, because schools don't teach you that. They just teach you how to take good pictures. They don't teach you how to work with people and how to offer the solution and be a part of that solution. Having a great personality is being a part of that solution. Popcorn, still and scraping. I'm gonna get some popcorn after this. Good looking out on the super chat, fun film. Yeah, make sure you lock your domain first. Get your domain name first. Once you know what your niche is, lock your domain down. What's my opinion on LegalZoom and setting it up? LegalZoom is cool, but they're a big brand that everybody know of. To get an LLC, there's other companies that do it cheaper than LegalZoom. An LLC is through your state. You just got to ask the right questions. It's other companies that can walk you through the forms to fill out to get an LLC. You can get it done. I didn't go through LegalZoom. I did some of the stuff, but some of it I didn't. How do you deal with sensitive clients that don't accept criticism on your content? The thing is this. You have to do a better job at making sure they understand you are the subject matter expert, right? It's something that doctors have to deal with. How do doctors feel comfortable saying you're overweight? They don't just be like, you're fat. You know what I'm saying? They work on ways depending on some clients. They can just say, hey, bro, you got to lose some weight. Some people, they have to, I've developed a healthier lifestyle. I think that would benefit you. It's just how you talk to people. It's knowing that it's knowing that you have to approach people differently. And sometimes as a guy, as being a former military guy, right? I'm just a brutally honest, deep cut dude, right? If your breath stank, bro, your breath smell like, that's just me, right? But sometimes when I deal with people, or I have a daughter, right? I can't go and be that way with her. I have to find a different way to do it. And that just comes with life. Just like you would kind of change something to work with clients. You want to change something to work with, family members. You want to do clients the same way. So you got to be mindful. And a lot of that comes with working with your client enough where you understand who they are, right? You understand what works best with them, because understanding that will make you a client for life. You know, you ever go to a place and they cook your food just like you like it and you ain't got to explain it and get it different? They know you don't want pickles. They see you like, oh, he don't want pickles. They know. That's just how you have to be. Code switch on 1000. Where we go. Boom. All right. We're getting ready to wrap it up. I told y'all it was going to be an hour and 30 minutes. We're at an hour and 31 minutes and we still got like 5 to 10 minutes on the other video. So we're getting ready to wrap up. Listen, I will be back. What's today? Tuesday? I will be back Thursday. I will be back Thursday. We can do it Thursday. I want to thank you guys who have supported the channel. My diehards, my day ones, my members, my super chatters. I want to thank you for everything that you've done. I want to thank you and say, hey, I appreciate you guys continuing to support the channel as we grow and try to do big things. Still working on that master course. I want to make sure that it is mind blowing. I want to make sure that when you finish with that bad boy, you in a whole nother place. All right. So make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed up. Definitely. And we're going to continue to grow this thing. I want to hear about how y'all have implemented some of the things we've talked about. If you are a gold member, please make sure you submit those websites. Make sure you submit those demo reels. Make sure you submit those projects, because we're going to do more of the videos where we talk directly to you about what you've accomplished. Master course and contest, my foot tax is coming. We may launch the contest. I ain't gonna say when, but what's coming. All right, guys. I will see you guys definitely in the next video. Stay thirsty, my friends. I love that commercial, by the way. Most interesting man in the world. Favorite commercial. The old one, not the new one. I like the old one. I ain't crazy about the new guy.